Good morning, everyone. Tom here. Happy Friday, March 20th, 2026. The Spring Equinox is in effect as I speak at this moment. So let's talk about what's going to happen this weekend and how it's more special than a typical Spring Equinox. Okay? So let's move into looking at the chart. And so what we have right now, as we can see, is the sun has now entered Aries. We're at 0 degrees 7 minutes. So we are in spring now, officially. Happens once a year. Always that energy of moving from the cold months, a winter season, into spring, sun going into Aries. We know that Aries is ruled by Mars. It's an active fire sign. Very interesting that that's the sign that the sun goes into every time we get to spring and the spring equinox. Now, what's the spring equinox? Obviously, that's when the Earth has equal amounts of daylight and night, and that our ecliptic is parallel to the sun. Now, here's the other interesting things about what's going on with the spring equinox. We've had Mercury retrograde for the last 21 days, and today it is stationing direct. Now, if you look over here at the chart, that S right there means it's stationing. So it's been retrograde, moving backwards, and over the last couple days, it has slowed down, stopped, and is now beginning to move forward, while conjunct the North Node, or Rahu, the head of the dragon. Rahu always represents where we're evolving towards. And so there's always something about the energy that's obsessive, compulsive, intense, wanting more of something. It like draws you in. And when it's with Mercury, when it comes to communication, the mind, the intellect, business, things of that nature, you put those two together and there is an obsessive quality to wanting to get certain kinds of messages out to friends, family, business on a collective level. Now, what's interesting about this is if I move over the next couple of days, it is still exact the North Node until we get to Tuesday when it finally moves off of the exact conjunction. So we have all weekend and Monday to feel this intense level of communicative, mental, intellectual energy. The other thing that's interesting now that Mercury has gone direct is every single celestial object that we track in the sky at this point on a significant level is now direct. There are no retrograde planets. And it'll be like this until about May when Pluto goes retrograde. So that means that as we move the sun into this warmth, active fire energy, all of this energy that we're going to feel, this mental clarity, everything's going to start moving forward now. The pace is going to pick up, especially when we get to April 25th, when Uranus goes into Gemini. All bets are off at that point. So what we're going to feel here, especially after January and February, we still had a lot of planets going through Pisces, and it was still this just really not a very reactive energy. And now we're moving into this proactive energy. There's a sense that things are going to get clearer, not just in your own life, but on the world stage, the national stage. As we move into April and these planets start to leave Pisces, the clarity is going to increase. So a lot of things that we have been watching happening around the planet, there's more going on behind the scenes. And those scenes are going to start coming out into the light, and things are going to be more exposed. Motivations, intentions, what the real chess game is going on the planet right now. So, what do I have to say here? But what else is happening? Well, if you watch what happens to the sun starting today, tomorrow, the sun conjuncts Neptune. It's a once in a year thing. But to have it hit Neptune in Aries the first time since the Civil War, it's going to be very interesting energy. Then we hit the next couple of days, and then by the time we get to Tuesday, the sun will be conjunct Saturn. Again, another thing that happens every year, but one after the other in Aries. The sun hasn't conjuncted Aries, or I'm sorry, Saturn in Aries for 29 years. So this is the first time. Actually, no. This is the first time. So at this point, I'm babbling, so I'm going to let everyone go. But just know this weekend is going to be very fated and destined to have some type of energy that either does things internally or externally in your lives. So buckle up. It's just going to get faster and faster. Talk to you soon. Before you go, we have 2 more days, 48 hours, before I ship off the Resonance Papers, my monthly analog newsletter. 2 more days until I ship it off. So if you want this field manual that helps you understand the energies of the craziest year in our lives, this helps. So go to my website, sign up within the next 48 hours, and you'll be able to get the April edition. Otherwise, you'll have to wait to get the May one. Okay? See you soon.